Well, hey, what's up, parents? Thanks so much for joining us for another The Woods Youth update, and thank you so much for doing the hardest job on the planet, raising your teenager. Well, it is fall, which means a new season. You're already a few weeks in, so I hope you've adjusted to the schedule. It's been a year of adjustments for me as I've taken on a new role at the church as the generations pastor, and so that hasn't meant a whole lot of change for you guys in youth ministry. I still got Pastor Franklin as an amazing assistant who is running all of our day-to-day, and I am still right there with all of your teenagers. And it has been an incredible start to the fall. For our midweek services, we are following right along with the church in our Narrow Way series. And so it is going to be a challenging series for your students as we take a look at what it means to live a life that is so different. It is a different path than what culture presents them. And we have absolutely been bursting at the seams. Each and every night, we're pulling out more and more chairs because teenagers are hungry for the Word of God. This has been such an enjoyable time in our culture to be a youth pastor because we're seeing a generation of people who are so unfamiliar with Scripture, unfamiliar with church, God, Bible, but they're curious, and what they're finding is different than what they were told. They were told they were going to find a bunch of judgmental, hateful people, but what they're finding is that Jesus is love. Teaches us how to love, be selfless, and serve, and they are hungry for it. It's attractive to them, and so we are doing an amazing job discipling them, and it's fun to disciple kids that want to know more about Jesus. If you are a new parent with us, I hope you've gotten to know your group leader. We've got so many of our returning group leaders year to year. We got 5 or 6 new group leaders this year, so check in with your students, see if they've got a new group leader. If you haven't already got their cell phone contact information, make sure you do that. So I know there's a lot of different things to cover. I want to make sure you guys are aware of how to connect with us. We've got these periodic videos, but apart from that, if you're like, hey, I need a little bit more information, a great place to start is our Instagram. So if you have an account, give us a follow with the Woods Youth. We'll put it down below, and we post that all the time, and so there's lots of different updates and fun ways to interact with us. And then additionally, you can get text updates by texting the word youth to 586-217-85. So sign up for those things. You'll never miss any of the events that are going up. But we do have a couple things I want to make you guys aware of that are coming up. For our midweek service, our next late night, which means we'll have doors open till 9:30, is happening next week, October 9th. We've got a guest speaker coming in. It is a fall festival. We're going to have gourd games, which is just a goofy way for us to celebrate and have some fun with the fall theme afterwards. And we've got Texas Roadhouse, who has donated 250 rolls and butter for that night. So we're going to have a fun time just eating and hanging together. And so make sure your students are aware of that. We'll be hanging out a little bit later on October 9th. I also want to make you aware of our next Afterglow, which is coming up this Sunday, October 6th. And that is immediately following our baptism service. So we have a bunch of teenagers that are going to be baptized. We have a ton of people in the church that have signed up. Baptism is always just an amazing service to attend if you want to build your faith and hear the stories of what God is doing in the lives of people. So I would encourage you, do not miss baptism service this Sunday night, October 6th from 6 to 7. And then for our Afterglow, we'll be hanging out after, and we're actually going to be going to our lead pastor, John McDonald's house. John and Holly are amazing, and they've got 2 students in the youth ministry, Maddox, who is a sophomore, and Hudson, who is a senior. So we're just going to be going behind the church to their house to hang out for a bonfire and a good time. If you need that address, go ahead and register on the link, and we'll provide that for you. We're not going to post it anywhere for obvious reasons. And so that's what's happening as far as some of our small events coming up this month. Want to also make you aware of a few changes that we've implemented in youth ministry, and that's one of the ways we do youth leadership. And so leadership is such a vital part of how we have students grow. It's a way to challenge them to take a step further and reshape the way they think about everything they see. It really shapes their worldview into saying, I have a purpose. God has given me gifts and talents, and how do I become someone who contributes instead of a consumer? How do I lead and impact those around me? And so we used to meet bi-weekly on Sunday afternoons, and the schedule for that just got really difficult to be consistent. And so for consistency's sake, which helps us with accountability and making sure students are participating in all the things we want them to, we have moved that to Wednesday nights at 5:30. So I know it can be a little bit more of a challenge to get there a little bit earlier, but that's weekly for an hour before everybody else gets there. And so we have officially started, but we're going to leave registration open. If it's something your student wants to do or be a part of, there's an application, which I'll link below, that they can fill out. And we would love for your student to join. It goes by a semester commitment. And we'd love to have them so we can shape their worldview, help them grow, and not just as people, as leaders, as friends, as sons and daughters with parents, and how to interact. And so we would love to be able to help shape them that way. So youth leadership weekly, an hour before service starts. All right, so I got two other big announcements for our big events that we have annually, and that's our annual winter retreat. We have dates for you, and that is going to happen over New Year's weekend. This is a big change because it is not happening over a weekend, as I just said. It's actually just New Year's Day. So we are going to leave December 30th through the 1st. So that's a Monday, Tuesday, and a Wednesday. We're going to leave Monday afternoon. Tuesday is New Year's Eve, we'll celebrate, and then we'll be back on New Year's Day. Now, the cost for retreat is $220 unless you register by the end of October. So this month only, it's $20 off for an early bird. And we believe so much in what a retreat can do for your student, and that if they've never been, we provide $50 off for every student that has never attended before if you register this week. So if you register before October 9th, you are going to get $50 off that registration. Yep, that's every single 7th grader who's never attended before. That's every single new student. That's your students' friends. We would love to impact them. As we get ready for baptism, we get to hear all these testimonies, and so many students share testimony of how they were growing, but there was a moment where they retreated, where they got extended period in God's presence, and God met them in powerful ways. And that's where they really made some huge decisions to follow Christ. And so I get to read those testimonies, and so many of them have to do with our winter retreat. So we hope and pray that your student does not miss winter retreat. Now, if you're interested in coming along with us, I want to let you know parents are always invited, and you can do that for free by joining the Parent Kitchen Crew. Every year, we've got about 15 to 20 parents that come along with us, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's a little bit of work. It's a lot of work to prepare meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner on Saturday, clean that up. But parents have a blast. We have so many parents that have done it for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, and we are so excited to get some new parents involved. It's a great way to meet new people, get connected to families. You get to stay in not just bunks, but real beds, with an amazing facility that's got your own living room and fireplace and kitchen. And so it's comfortable for you guys, and we want to make that available to you. You can register using the same link your students can. And then I've just got one last thing. Our summer trip, I just want to throw a save the date out there. We are planning to return to Bold Conference at the end of June, which is June 23rd, and that trip's going to be till July 1st. We're going to go over to Kansas City, and then we've got plans to go to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, where we've already secured a residence where we're going to be doing some further discipleship. So we're really excited. We're planned ahead. We want to make sure you guys have these dates. I know costs are always a big deal, and so our Wild Game Dinner fundraiser packets are available. If you're not familiar with Wild Game Dinner, it is our biggest fundraiser of the year. Just real quick, we have a 2-night dinner, about 350 people that come, and during that dinner we do live auction, silent auction, bucket raffles, and your student can earn money based on how much they contribute. We have got a packet made up that you can get at the loft as you drop your student off for midweek, or we have them available at the Woods Church. If you see Pastor Franklin or I during a Sunday morning, just reach out to us and we'll make sure we get you that packet so you can already start getting donations for this event that happens in January. Well, I know that's a lot of information. Thank you guys so much for checking in with us, and thank you so much for doing the hardest job on the planet, raising your teenager.